Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm going to do a video on my March Madness Kino Lorber sale, part two, the second haul. I was going to try to resist, but in the end I couldn't resist. There were so many titles that I wanted. I'm going to start off with the third Lover, and this is a film by Claude Chabrol from the early 60s. Chabrol is monumentally underrepresented on Blu-ray as far as his 60s and 70s films go. They were always being shown in movie theaters, especially like La Femme Infidèle, which starred Stéphane Audran, who was also in this film, and Claude Chabrol's wife at the time. I streamed this on I think it was Cohen Media Station a couple years ago. I really enjoyed it. It's probably not top tier Chabrol, but Chabrol's a very unique kind of director. Sometimes you just want to go back and revisit. It also has a commentary that I'm interested to hear. And all these Kino Lorber films have commentaries, no other extras, but they all have commentaries. I think next month or the month, either May or June, the night of the following day is coming out on Kino Lorber, and that starred Marlon Brando, but also starred Pamela Franklin, an actress who was about the same age as me, and I'm kind of nostalgic for these actresses of the 60s and 70s who sort of dropped out of making films, but they were in a few, for me at least, highly memorable films. But this is not one of them. I don't remember seeing this one, and Soon the Darkness, and it's a suspense thriller. It sounds pretty good from the description. I don't know the other actors. Michelle Deutrich I probably have seen, and Sandra Ells I know I've never seen that. Other actress who was about the same age as me that I was a big fan of, maybe my first crush, was Haley Mills, and this is his Chalk Garden. Mills's Tiger Bay and Whistle Down the Wind, they were on TV all the time in the 1960s, and Haley Mills, I never missed those. Those are two of my favorite films when I was a kid. The Chalk Garden I've seen, I don't remember very well. Deborah Carr's also in it, and of course Haley Mills' father, John Mills, in this movie as well. This is a film by Julien Duvier. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's called Diabolically Yours. I don't believe I've ever seen this one. But Alain Delon's in it, Senta Berger. You saw my video on Code Memorandum, you know I'm a big admirer of Senta Berger. I saw a Duvier film, Panique, from the late 40s, which I found was an outstanding movie. And I guess in his later career, he made films that didn't have that kind of release. I suppose this was released in the U.S. I don't remember it though. And I'm looking forward to seeing this one. And I always need comedies. Movies don't make enough comedies. I guess they're too hard to make. I don't know what it is, but this is one from the 60s, The Art of Love. I can't remember this one at all either. James Garner, Dick Van Dyke, Elkie Summer, Angie Dickinson. It was directed by Norman Jewison, and of course he had a pretty good string of successful movies in the 60s, 70s. I think he was also the director of Moonstruck, and that was with Cher, in the 80s or 90s. This also has Carl Reiner and Ethel Merman in supporting roles. So Dick Van Dyke is always funny, and James Garner as well. And it's a movie that, from the sound of it, is kind of goofy, but sometimes goofiness is good. This I have seen, Lovers and Other Strangers. It was a stage play by Joseph Bologna and his wife Renee Taylor, and they starred in the Broadway. It was a big success on Broadway, and they starred in that, but they're not in the movie. They wrote the screenplay, not in the movie. If Richard Castellano was in this movie, you might remember him from The Godfather. He got a nomination for Best Supporting Actor for this movie, and it's got a lot of interesting actors and actresses in this film, including Gig Young. I remember Gig Young being very funny. Ann Muir, Cloris Leachman, B. Arthur. This is before, I think, B. Arthur, this is before Maud. Ian Jackson, Harry Gardino, Michael Brandon, Bonnie Bedelia. It's sort of an ensemble piece of a wedding, and it sort of goes into the different attitudes people were having about love and sex, and when the production code was wasting away in movie and in society. Movies were reflecting society in general, where everything seemed a bit up in flux as far as those kind of topics were concerned. Other comedy, Continental Divide. This was released in '81, only a few months before John Belushi died. Neighbors, I think, came out in 1981. So we get John Belushi in a rom-com with Blair Brown. I remember this. I thought Belushi was really, really good in this film, but it's different, of course, than his Animal House type performances or 1941. I'm looking forward to this. This is directed by Michael Apted and written by Lawrence Kasdan. So those are the Kino Lorbers, and like I say, all of them have commentaries, and I'm pretty much a commentary kind of guy, especially especially when they're good. I read my David Thompson Light in the Dark book, and I did a short video on it. In his chapter on Martin Scorsese, he intimated that he thinks that Casino is Martin Scorsese's masterpiece, maybe. The 4K was like $12 at Amazon. I couldn't pass that up. I of course have seen this, probably only once though. I don't have a great itching to go back and watch Scorsese movies for some reason. The intensity, the toxic male behavior. Sometimes I respect it, and he's a great filmmaker and all. But for rewatchability, maybe not. At least for me. But Casino, I think, is one that, like I say, I haven't revisited it since. So I'm kind of anxious to see that. Another Scorsese movie that David Thompson mentioned as perhaps his most overlooked film, and this New York. This too was only, I think, $10. It's the complete version. I saw this in the movies when it first came out. They took the happy ending. This was just like maybe 20 minutes sequence out of the film. But then, I don't know how many years later, they re-released the film with the happy endings. The movie didn't get really very good reviews. You have another toxic male in Robert De Niro's saxophone player and Liza Minnelli. But it's a gorgeous production. And I remember that opening sequence is just fantastic. So I'm really kind of anxious to revisit this one as well. So that's about it. I do have some Arrow movies coming, but Kino Lorber is, for me at least, I get it within a week. I'm not sure when I'm going to get the Arrow, so I thought I might as well go ahead and make a sale video. So that's about wraps it up. Thank you guys for listening to my babbling, and if you purchase anything in Kino Lorber and want to make a comment, it would be more than welcome. If not, you guys take care.